Welcome to this live tutorial of the LIVEtouch20. We're going to walk through this mixer in two parts. First, the physical parts. This mixer comes with 16 analog inputs and 8 XLR outputs, and also a monitor output, and 2 digital inputs. The digital inputs are SPDIF and also a USB player that comes back as a stereo channel on the mixer. This mixer has also a touchscreen, Android-based software, and also 9 motorized faders. The first 8 faders are for the inputs and the buses. The last fader is for the main level. It also has a few buttons for the selection, the mute, and the solo. You can also use the big knob for the parameters, and we have a setup button, a copy-paste button, a play button for the USB player, and also a few buttons for the layers. Okay, now we're going to walk through the features of this mixer. When you press the setup button, then you see you can do the maintenance, like firmware update from USB stick. You can configure your Wi-Fi setup. The Wi-Fi dongle is included when you want to make connection to your iPad or your Android tablet. You can also adjust the brightness of the touchscreen, and you can also set up your crossover in this mixer. You can use bus 8 for the low section and the main fader for the mid-high section. In here you can activate or deactivate your crossover. In the patch menu, you can patch your buses to the physical outputs in custom 1, 2, and 3. In the default settings, it's dedicated. In the meter section, you can see your levels for the inputs, also pre and post fader, and also for the outputs. In the effect menu, you can select one of the 8 processors to the buses. We have 2 module effects, 2 delay, 2 reverbs, and 2 graphic equalizer. Just by selecting a bus and press the empty space, you can select one of the processors, like a reverb for bus 3. In the scene menu, you can recall and store your preset. You can also import and export your savings to an USB stick. In the recorder section, you can play your MP3 files or your WAV files from a USB stick and do also recording. It records the 2-track from the main level. And in the monitor section, you can send ping noise or white noise or some sinus waves to one of the buses, and also you can adjust your monitor and headphone level. Okay, let's see what this mixer can do. It basically works as a DAW software. I have connected the mixer to the iPad, so you can also see what's happening on the iPad. When I select a channel and I go to the upper part, you can see I can activate the phantom power. I can adjust the gain, the delay, the high pass filter, and I also can insert one of the 8 processors. When I go to the EQ section, I have 4 bands. All of the 4 bands I can move it to the left and right. I can choose the whole spectrum, and I can also adjust the Q, the band width of each band. Then we have compressor and a gate on each channel. We have the bus part. We have 8 buses, 4 mono buses, and 4 stereo buses. You can activate them just by pressing the buses, and then it's activated in this channel. You can also choose pre or post fader for the bus. And then we have the output section for this channel. You can adjust the pen and the solo mute on the button or on the touchscreen. Okay, let's see how it works in a live situation. First, I want to prepare a reverb on one of the buses. I go to my bus layer, select the stereo bus, in this case bus 8, and I insert one of the reverbs, reverb 1. Okay, I pull up the volume, and then I go back to my input. On the first channel, I have an input. I want to see if the signal is coming, it's good. When I go to the main, to the gain, then I can adjust the gain to bring up the volume more on this channel. Test, you see now it's coming. Okay, I have a signal, that's good. And I also want to send the signal to the bus 8. I activate it first by pressing the bus 8, and then I can bring up the auxiliary for this bus. I also can change the name of the channel by pressing the tab and adjust the name for this channel, like mic 1. And then done. I can also select the color. Okay, now you see it's changed. And that you can do with every channel and bus you want to. I also have music on my USB stick. I can play it by pressing the play button. It plays then the first track that's on the USB stick. And when I go to the USB channel, you see it's also coming in. When I pull up the volume, then you see I have sound. Now I can add the mic to it. Test, hey, 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 hey. You see? And now you hear also the mic with the reverb. Test. Hey, it's a bit too much, but it's for an example. It's very easy. And anyone can do this. Now you see how this mixer works. It's available at your local music dealer. We have a flight case and a rack mount kit, optional for this mixer. I hope you enjoyed this overview, and don't forget, keep in touch with the LIVEtouch20. See ya!